Hey there, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with the POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Wednesday, March 20th. Hope you're doing well and happy hump day. In this video, on the same day that we got the interest rate decision from the Federal Reserve staying steady, we're getting reports that Ethereum may have the SEC on its back. And this is something I've been warning about time and time again. It's not that I want Ethereum to get sued. It's just I want to make sure everybody is protected because we know that Ripple had a lawsuit brought against them and the sale of unregistered securities, and we know that that was all bogus, and it was basically deemed in and of itself XRP was not a security. And Ethereum, I don't think Ethereum in itself is a security either. There could be an argument now that it's proof of stake because you're relying on the network and the effort of others, right? They're giving you a return based on that staking mechanism. So it's going to be interesting to see in the eyes of the regulators what they really believe in the end. But I don't believe that, it's just computer code. I don't believe that it actually is a security, but the way it was offered and sold initially during the ICO, I could 110% see that being a security, right? As we know in the Ripple case versus the SEC, they said institutional sales were deemed securities, right? So not in and of itself XRP, but the sales that Ripple made of XRP to institutions, those were deemed no-no. But I think like 95% of them were outside of the US anyways. But we're going to go over all of the details on this. This is just a public service announcement and a warning to, just prepare for everything, right? Because they're coming for all of crypto, and Ethereum very well could be next. And this is something that I've been warning about for many, many months now. And I personally do not hold any Ethereum, but we'll go through the details here in a moment. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. And you'll be notified on any future live streams or whenever I post a new video. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. So the Ethereum price whipsaws on headlines concerning SEC's regulatory probe. And this came from investing.com, a very well-known website, right? This is mainstream media. So the price made fresh gains today, showing resilience amidst a volatile crypto market, but gains were sustained despite the fact that the Securities and Exchange Commission has intensified its legal efforts to classify Ethereum as a security, potentially affecting its regulatory status and ETF approvals. I don't think there's been a lot of speculation that ETF for ETH is coming some point between now and the end of May. I don't think that's going to happen. The same reason why XRP ETF hasn't happened, because they're still going through the courts. Ripple and the SEC, the reason why an XRP ETF hasn't happened is because they're still battling it out in court, right? So I don't think that's going to happen until the case is resolved, which could be over the next couple of months. But I don't think, with all this uncertainty, that they would launch an ETH ETF. We'll see what happens through the courts and if there's any kind of pressure like that, similar to Bitcoin. But personally, I don't think that's going to happen. And something that we want to really stress as well is that when Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC now, the chairman, when he was at MIT teaching, he said that he believed that the Ethereum ICO was an unregistered securities offering. So he basically said that he didn't believe that it was done ethically and, according to law. So that is a huge red flag. And ever since he took that position as chairman, he has never said publicly, in front of Congress, right? He was getting grilled in front of Congress, and he would not say whether or not Ethereum was or was not a security. He said it depends on the facts and circumstances. He will not speak to one particular coin. So you need to be very, very cautious. Also, the fact that Bitcoin doesn't even have a known creator, right? It's an anonymous. We have no idea who Satoshi Nakamoto is, right? Apparently, it was a 35-year-old Japanese male. But at the end of the day, Homeland Security said they met with the 4 Satoshis. There could be a group of people, it could be a group of countries as well. And I don't want to go too far because I don't want to get this video shadow banned. But in my opinion, I'm of the thinking of Raoul Pal. I've been like that. I've been thinking that ever since he said it. I think he said it maybe like a year or two ago. I've been thinking this for many, many years, at least 4 or 5 years now, that it was a group of governments, more than likely the US and, maybe somewhere in the EU, right? The European Union or something like that. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I think a group of governments created it, and they could eventually let the founder be known, and then they would be able to go after somebody and they deem it a security as well, right? So there's all this uncertainty, and the only one right now that is battling it out through the courts and the law of the land is XRP. It in and of itself, by Judge Annalisa Torres has said that it's not a security. So Ethereum could be next, Bitcoin could be next, all of these other coins could be next. Cardano, there's been tons of allegations or lawsuits, with other crypto exchanges where the SEC has said that they were selling unregistered securities, and they named Ethereum and Cardano and a few others, right? I think Algo was one of them as well. So this could be, like I said, the warpath for crypto, and it could be a lot more on the way. And I think Ethereum very well could be next. And if they were to get sued, I think they would lose, and the value would plummet. So just be very, very careful. Again, I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. But to be fully transparent, I do not own any more Bitcoin. I do not own any more Ethereum. I made my money off of it. In the 2021 bull market, I bought Bitcoin around 3K and I sold it around 40K. Didn't see the 70K or 74K, whatever it was, all-time high, but I don't care. I can't hold something that I don't know who created it. Imagine buying Apple stock and not knowing who the founder was. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Like, come on, join the adults in the room here. This is silly, really, at the end of the day. And then Ethereum, we know that I have the video on if you go to Shorts and search Ethereum, it should bring it up. They talk about disguising the whales right here. Joseph Lubin, Ethereum co-founder, talking about disguising large purchases for whales. And I guarantee you one of those was JP Morgan, right? So they were literally selling to institutional investors. They will get the biggest fine, more than likely, out of any other crypto foundation or company, because they actually did sell unregistered securities. Ethereum in and of itself might not be a security, but in my opinion, they 110% would lose an SEC court case about whether or not the initial sales in that ICO violated securities law, and it 100% did, right? We know that. So just be very, very careful. I'm not trying to spread fear or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell everybody that if you hold Bitcoin, if you hold Ethereum, be ready for them to drop a bomb on you and say that, oh, guess what? We know who the creator of Bitcoin is. That could happen, right? That's always an uncertainty, like a cloud over your head, right? And then with Ethereum, they could always get sued. Yes, they get the regulatory free pass from Bill Hinman and the SEC, but that was the previous administration. Now this one, which at MIT, right? Gary Gensler said he believed that the ICO was illegal, right? So this is very, very bad. And then Stephen Narioff as well, who's coming out. Basically, he was there in the room alongside all these people during the Ethereum ICO, and he's, screaming from the rooftops, basically, this is sketchy as F, right? So just be very, very cautious, because Ethereum very well could be next, and it could be way worse than the outcome of Ripple versus the SEC. I don't think they'll be that fortunate. But Ethereum Foundation receives confidential inquiry from mysterious state authority. So it just started off very mysterious, and then Bitcoin Systemi. That was from Bitcoinist, and then Bitcoin Systemi said Ethereum Foundation allegedly under investigation by government authorities. And then there was just a recent update here breaking: the SEC allegedly campaigning to classify Ethereum as a security. What do we also know about Prometheum? Prometheum, and Aaron Kaplan, I believe is his name, he basically is calling them digital asset securities, and they've gotten special licensing from the SEC to basically offer these. And the first one that they had on their platform, to my understanding, was Ethereum. And they always, look at Thinking Crypto and Tony Edwards on the Thinking Crypto podcast, he had Aaron on there and he talks about it, and he always says Ethereum, the digital asset security, right? And this is words mean things, right? And the fact that the SEC wouldn't comment or say anything, it's very sketchy. And the fact that he already said at MIT that he believed that Ethereum was a security. We have the video of the disguised whales, right? Like, this is so sketchy, it's not even funny. And if there isn't a lawsuit against Ethereum Foundation, then we know that the governments and these agencies are 110% corrupt, right? And again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I'll get this video shadow banned for sure. But if they don't get sued, then we know for sure that these agencies are 110% corrupt. If they do, then we might still have some sort of luck in the world, and we're not doomed, because this is ridiculous. They were 110% of security. Okay. But the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has reportedly launched a strong legal campaign to classify Ethereum as a security, according to Fortune. This marks a significant setback for the crypto industry, which has been hopeful that the SEC would greenlight applications for an Ethereum ETF, especially after the approval of several Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year. So get ready for a potential drop in the markets. I don't think this would be the end all be all of the, I don't think it would be the 100% confirmation that we're going to enter bear market from here. I think this would create one final dip. Maybe we see 40 to 50K dip on Bitcoin, and then we see one more final blow off top in alt season. But I don't think Ethereum's going to participate. May not even hit a new all-time high. We'll see this cycle, right? Based on all of this. But the SEC's investigation into Ethereum includes requiring companies to provide any documents and financial reports related to their interactions with the Ethereum Foundation. Okay, well, maybe you should go and check out this video where they were disguising large purchases for whales as well. You might find some stuff in there, or talk to Stephen Narioff. The SEC's investigation into Ethereum requiring companies to provide any documents that were related to interactions with Ethereum Foundation. The nonprofit ETH Foundation is responsible for overseeing the management and development of Ethereum blockchain and consensus as well, right? Which we know was right there with the ICO. Sources from companies that have recently received subpoena requests reveal that the SEC's investigation into Switzerland-based Ethereum Foundation began shortly after the blockchain switched to a new governance model known proof of stake. And this is something I've been saying for a while now. We know that the SEC hates proof of stake. And yeah, it just looks, smells, walks, talks like a friggin' security. So what do you think it is, right? The subpoenas are narrowly defining and focus on Ethereum Foundation. The SEC does not comment on the existence or absence of a potential investigation. The SEC said in a response to Fortune's request for comment, this is not investment advice. So there's no official confirmation of this yet, but it's not looking good, folks. The more they look into this, I don't know if they're going to do a rug pull right now. I think they'll probably push it down the road. That's why it's coming out. Oh, they're doing an investigation. So they're collecting they're collecting reports from different companies. So I think they're going to kick the can down the road a little bit later. But once we get that final blow off top moment, once we get one more dip, one more buy the dip opportunity, we get one more blow off top. We get a full blown alt season, probably the biggest alt season we've ever seen. Whether or not Ethereum goes to a new all-time high in that alt season, I don't know. I would be inclined to think that it probably wouldn't, because it's just under 5,000. We're at 3,300. I wouldn't think so. But at the moment, we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross rather on Ethereum, signifying more downside here on the way to daily oversold. So I'd be very, very cautious. And then I think they could use Ethereum as a security, especially the ICO, as a weapon to create the bear market, and that would absolutely wipe out alt season. So I think they'll do that probably to the tail end of alt season more than likely. But if we take a look at Ethereum here on the weekly time frame, we're seeing a stochastic bear cross, which is bearish on the weekly time frame, because that usually happened first. And any kind of momentum shift, you can see here it happened first on the last time we crossed bullish, then the 10-week moving average, we got above that, and then we had the MACD. Now we're seeing the flip side of that, where the stochastic cross bearish, and then potential loss of the 10-week moving average, then the MACD crosses. So it's not looking too hot. And something I want to be screaming from the rooftop again as well is that we just had a weekly 50 and 200 bear cross, but we avoided it, and we went to test potential new all-time highs. We didn't get there, and now we have this report that they could be basically bringing a lawsuit against Ethereum Foundation. And in my opinion, this is the weekly time frame, so the top very well could be in on Ethereum. It's hard to say if this will hit a new all-time high. If it does, I don't think it'll go much further than 5,000, maybe 6,000, 7,000. But this is very bearish. Look what happened when it was bullish, when the price cross went from about $600 all the way up to about 5,000. Now it's the flip side of that with the 50 above the 200 weekly. When that crosses, that's very, very bearish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went back down to around the $500 mark in a full-blown bear market, and if this actually does have teeth to it and they do bring a lawsuit against Ethereum. And then if we take a look at the daily time frame, we're back testing the 50 daily, and then we have the 100 daily coming up at 2,700, and then the 200 there at 2,200. So yeah, if this continues to gain traction here, and even in the short term, I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back to around that 2,700 to 2,200 level if this continues to get mainstream attention. But like I said, this would be nothing if they actually get the lawsuit, because if they actually get the lawsuit, this thing is 110% going to be deemed a security in the initial coin offering, and the fine could be in the tens of billions based on all of the the information and the facts that we have and all the video footage, and this thing could drop back down into the hundreds. We're talking a couple $100, maybe $100 per coin if this happens, right? So just be very, very cautious. Like I said, I do not own any Ethereum because I don't like that cloud hanging over my head, whether or not they could ever deem it a security, especially the initial coin offering. Again, if they don't, then we know there's no United States of America anymore, essentially, or there's no non-corrupt agencies in the US. And if they do, price is going to absolutely crater. And I can't hold Bitcoin anymore because I don't know who the creator is. Why am I going to hold something and have them that as leverage? They can leverage that as, something that can sell it off at any moment, right? Why would I want to be in that? What I choose is XRP and other cryptos that have transparency and have been through the regulatory gauntlet. And right now, XRP is that only one. So that's why I put majority of my money into XRP, is because it's the only one. Not even Bitcoin and Ethereum have it. It has legal court opinion. It's not an opinion. It's a legal court decision and ruling that it in and of itself, XRP is not a security. Whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum just have regulatory opinion, right, from the SEC. There's no case law. There's no Congress bills or legislature, right? So just be very, very cautious on how you tread water going forward. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. Let me know if you think they're going to actually bring a lawsuit against Ethereum. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Wish you all the best of luck. Love each and every one of you, and we'll see you again on the next video.